welcome to the 2024 UCI BMX Racing World Cup here in Brisbane, Australia for rounds 3. We've moved from Rotorua across the sea, and we are here. And when I say we, it's going to be me, Matt Payne, and the living legend that is Rich Eames bringing you the action. And Rich, I understand you've got some spies in the camp.
I have, Matt. Family X of Preston Pirates BMX Club, who are now residing in Brisbane, Australia, watching the action.
So they've made the trip down under and now live down in this amazing scene, and they're going to be out and watching the action. So Rich, your mission today is to see if you can spot them down in the crowd. But let's take a look at what they have out and around. It's an amazing city with Queensland, sunny capital. It offers a laid-back charm and some urban energy with a dash of adventure. A city that lives up to its sunny potential with a strong focus on the outdoors. Think al fresco dining, picnics by the river, islands just off the coast and national parks. If you add into this the abundant wildlife, the easy access to icons like the Gold Coast and the Great Barrier Reef, well, it's a great destination, and the track is right on board. Now, it's cloudy today, and I am assured it's normally blazingly sunny, but it has brought the temperature down here a bit more manageable. We're down alongside the Anamirs Velodrome. You can just see that on the right-hand side of your screen. And Rich, the track is slightly different to Rotorua. We have people watching all around the world. We have Uber BMX fans. We'll take a look at the track in a second. Let's run through the standings first of all. Now, the Greenoffs are up at the top of the standings, both taking a win apiece. Bennett up at the top because he had a first and a second rather than a first and a fourth for Jack. Interestingly, all of those riders are here. Now, in the under-23 women's, we do have a little bit of a shock. Emily Hutt has gone through via the last chance qualifier, but Ava Corley, problems not with us.
Yeah, not with us this round. She's injured, unfortunately, Matt.
Well, we wish her the best. When we go to our men's elite, you can see Joris Dode right up at the top. Roman Mayo not having a good day too. Dode absolutely on form. Looking good at the moment, though. We are missing the man in fourth position in the overall series.
Yeah, Nick Kimmin not with us here in Brisbane, unfortunately, but I'm sure he'll be back for the next round in Tulsa.
And of the top 8 there, Matthias Rago Richard going out in last chance qualifying after a crash in qualifying. In the women's elite, well, what can we say? Saya Sakakibara up at the top, full marks for her, maximum points. But the women's standings, the only rider missing, Laura Smolders.
Yeah, Laura unfortunately took a tumble in Rotorua. She's damaged her thumb and her wrist, so we'll see you next time.
So we are in, it's time to hit the race action. Now, to get to where our riders are now, they've gone through round 1. They've had to make their way through that. If they didn't qualify in that, they came through the last chance qualifiers into our 8th finals. Then it's going to be into the quarterfinals if they've qualified through there. Rich, only a certain number of riders through each time. For those people that are new, it's not everybody going through. It's not your top 3, is it?
You know, it's your top 4. 4 go through, 4 go out. It's very simple. Just watch those top 4 riders crossing the line.
So here we go. We're going to kick off. It's time for the men's under-23 quarterfinals.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Right, first of the quarterfinals underway. Jesse Asmus of Australia on the inside, and Noah Elton's been shuffled out of the back already. Looks like Asmus is going to pick up that whole shot. There he is. Joel Marsh in there as well. Jack Greenoff working his way through also, but the Australian rider, he wanted a strong showing here in front of the home crowd. It's Jesse Asmus out there in front. Got himself a 5 or 6 bike length gap now. Look at the speed of this guy as they head towards that final corner. Asmus in and out. He's got this one wrapped up. That looks like Noah Elton in that 4th spot, and Jack Greenoff going through as well as they cross the line. Asmus takes the win. Jack Greenoff in there in 2, Noah Elton in 3, Joel Marsh in 4. A superb lap from Jesse Asmus, just the way he wanted to start his race here in Brisbane.
Absolutely flying there. a second place in round one, a top spot in the 8th finals. He really did open up that gap early.
Yeah, he certainly did. He got the start of a lifetime, and he was clear as they came out of turn number 1 and just opened that gap as he went through turn 2, brought it to the line, a picture perfect lap for Jesse Asmus, exactly what he wanted. Jack Greenough following him across, and Noah Elton rounding out the top 3.
So our next set of riders for the second of our quarterfinals are just lining up. Let's get the confirmed results though from the first of the quarterfinals with Jack Greenough coming through in second position there behind Jesse Asmus. Noah Elton, the man who is sitting in 5th place in the series, making it through just.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at the riders lining up there. And Jack Key on the outside in gate number 8. He's on that 548 plate. I'll have my eye on Oliver Moran on the 502. He's there in gate 1 with Harrison Davis right next to him. And we are ready for the second of the quarterfinals in the men under 23.
So, quick question for those people who don't know: green plate and black plate. What does the green plate mean, Rich?
Green plate is the series leader.
For Australia, Bailey
And I think the black plate is this lap.
We will find out. We'll soon find out for you. We'll see how they're going to go. Here we go, lined up and ready. Watch out for Jolly. Some fantastic moves in Rotorua. Can he repeat it here today?
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Here we go, second of the quarterfinals, heading down the hill. Oliver Moran getting a great start. A lot of people tipping him for a win here in Brisbane. And Joshua Jolly in the mix as well. Harrison Davis just working his way into a top 3 now as they head down that second straight. Donald in there in 4th. Harrison Davis making his move now from 3rd. Is he going to be able to make a pass on Joshua Jolly in that corner? They go in and out of the turn. Moran still out in front as they head towards the final corner. Davis looking safe in that 3rd spot. It's only a case of who's going to pick up the 4th as they go towards the line. Moran's going to take the win. Moran takes the win at the stripe. Joshua Jolly in 2, Harrison Davis in 3, Kogan in that 4th spot. Louison Rousseau of France, unfortunately he's out. He's going to have to come back in round number 4.
And Oliver Moran, that makes it a clean sweep so far. Top spot in round 1, top spot in his 8th finals. You said to watch out for him. He didn't have the best of starts though.
No, he didn't, but Oliver Moran certainly did. He made the most of that gate number 1, getting that hole shot on the inside, taking it into the turn. Joshua Jolly tried to get himself underneath. One rider going wide coming out of turn number 1. We were looking for Louison Rousseau. He was back there in that 6th spot. He left himself way too much to do. Meanwhile, Oliver Moran bringing it to the line. He's got that green plate on the Harrison Davis coming across with a secure 3rd position.
So Oliver Moran coming through in top spot. Clean sweep of 1st place so far in all of his races here in round 3. Can he continue that when he moves into our semi-finals with Joshua Jolly, Harrison Davis and Finn Kogan? So we're going to move on into the second half of the quarterfinals. We're going to kick off with the 3rd of those. And in here, some of the real big names. Riders who have been going very strongly, though. Kip Stauffacher, he's again got a perfect run so far. Can he repeat it? So wins in round 1 and in his 8th finals. Top 4 going through. Quick reminder for those people new to the sport, and whether you are a new viewer or somebody who has watched every video that Rich and I have watched in our lifetimes put together. Hopefully you're going to enjoy today's racing here today. Rich, Kip Stauffacher, can he do it here today? He's looking good. Take us through that race.
Kip Stauffacher of Switzerland. He's already had a World Cup win in Sarion's in round 6 in 2023. Is he going to pick up a win here in the quarterfinal? He's there in that 4th spot at the minute as they head in and out of the turn. It's Marcus Leth of Denmark who's in control at the moment. Jordan Callum of Australia battling with Salazar as they go into that corner, and the South American still holding on to that position. Looks like Stauffacher's been shuffled back into 5th now, so he's going to have to make a move in this final corner if he wants to go through. Leth getting overhauled in the final turn as well. He's sat there in that 2nd spot as they bring it down towards the line. That looks like Jordan Callum going to take the win. Callum takes it across the line. Leth into Ugamar, and Benel Salazar just battling with the photo finish, and Kip Stauffacher out in 5th.
Well, that could well be a commentator's curse, couldn't it? Stauffacher going out in 5th position here. What went wrong for Stauffacher?
Yeah, just didn't quite get the start that he wanted, and he was bunched up in that turn in that 4th spot, and they were all ganging up on the back of him there as they came down that second straight. And it's quite a technical second straight with a big stepped up jump as you go into that second turn, but no such problems for Jordan Callum taking it across the line left, safe there in that second spot. And I've got a feeling it might have been Ugamar who went through in that final qualifying position.
And Marcus Leth only came through via the last chance qualifiers. He took the win in his last chance. He got through there after a 7th place in round 1. He comes in 2nd over the line. So Callum Leth, Belakazar and Ogema going through. Stauffacher, Southwell, Frizerin, who has had a great round so far for him. He will add to his points total, but not to be his day going through into our semi-finals, which leaves us with one more of our quarter-finals to come here in Brisbane for round 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup.
Yep, last of the quarter-finals about to go. Sheldon Watt, Australia lining up in gate number 6. Focused and in control. The 500 there, Bennett Greenoff of New Zealand. Took a win in Rotorua. He'll be looking to repeat here in Brisbane.
Okay, riders, ready to start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate drops on the last of these quarterfinals. Marco Radielli of Italy right in there as well. It looks like James Cutter-Williams of the USA getting shuffled out towards the back of the pack. He's in there in about 6th at the minute, but it looks like Greenoff of New Zealand. All the elbows are flying already. Federico Capello getting pushed high in that turn. Is he going to make one of his trademark swoops in that second corner? He's worked his way up into the 4th spot, chasing down Justin Cutter-Williams of the USA, who had a much better second straight. Radielli in there in that second position. Bennett Greenoff leading it out of the final turn. It's going to go Greenoff, Radielli, James Cutter-Williams, Federico Capello. That's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 as they cross the line. Capello making moves as they came down that second straight, but it was a great performance from Justin Cutter-Williams.
It was indeed making his way in and through. Bennett Greenoff taking top spot there. A rider who has had a perfect run through as well. So at the moment, the riders who were strong in rounds 1 have generally excelled at the front of the race. And the Greenoff brothers are absolutely amazing that they took a win apiece last time out when we were over in Rotorua at the weekend. Capello not having the best of times, so he got a real shove there to get him out of the way, but he dived back in again. A great recovery.
Yeah, and he was chasing down James Cutter-Williams as well of the USA. He was about 6th going into that first turn and had worked his way into the top 3 as they crossed the line. Big dive from Radielli, but it wasn't enough to catch Bennett Greenoff as they crossed the line. James Cutter-Williams coming through in 3rd, Federico Capello in 4th.
So here are the results from your last quarterfinal in the men's under-23 category. As you can see, Greenoff, Radielli, Williams and Capello going through. And really interesting, some very tight racing there. We're going to move across from the men's under 23. You can see our riders lining up and ready. Joris Dode, he's known as the man who takes the second of the double headers. Will he be able to take it away today? He's absolutely on form. He has a perfect score so far in terms of races in this round, going through 1st place in round 1, 1st place in his 8th finals.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
We're underway here with the men's quarterfinals, round 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup, heading down towards turn number 1. Jack Davis working his way into that second spot behind Joris Dode of France. That looks like Dave Vanderberg in there in 3 at the minute, and who's going to go through in that 4th spot? There's Jeremy Rencarel of France getting into the mix as well, so Rencarel in 3, looks like Dave Vanderberg in 4, but no such problems for Joris Dode. He's out in front as they lead towards the final corner. Jack Davis in there in 2. Rencarel 3, Vanderberg 4. That looks like Federico Villegas of Argentina, who's going to be the unlucky guy in 5, unless he can catch Vanderberg at the line. He can't catch him. Dode, Davis, Rencarel, Vanderberg going through. That was your 1, 2, 3, 4, and Simon Marquardt out in 5.
Now, when we were talking before the show, and Rich and I were just going through where people were moving and what was happening, we were saying perhaps the Swiss not having as good a day at the office this time round as they have done in the first 2 rounds. That seemed to be the case here again with Marcotte out.
Yeah, Marcotte unfortunately not getting the start that he wanted. He was back there in 7th as he exited turn number 1, and it's a very, very tough ask to work your way through the pack at the men elite level. Joris Dodi, though, picking up from where he left off in Road to Ruhr. Jack Davis, that was a great finish for him, taking that 2nd spot. Dave van der Berg in 4, and Simon Marcotte, he's going to have to come back and go through in the next round.
So you can see the confirmed results, the first of our men's elite quarterfinals with Dode, Davis, Renkerel and Van der Berg going through. The rest of the riders now have to regroup, ready for round number 4, which is here in the same venue. But it is time to get across, ready for the next of our quarter-finals. Riders are lined up and ready to go. Roman May just lined up on the start song, but Kai White, who should be down on the start line. He's in the number 87 plate. He is going to be looking to see how he goes. He's been going very, very well, Rich.
Yeah, he's gone well in the early rounds. He's out there in gate 8 in this quarter-final. You've got Diego Arboleda in gate number 1, and it's the Colombian fans definitely getting involved for their rider, and there he is, the 741. He's had a World Cup win in Glasgow already in 2022.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Arboleda in gate 1, Kai White in gate 8, skills and speed as we come down the first straight. Arboleda's going to pick up the whole shot, and right there with him is Kai White of Great Britain. Oh, 1, 2, 3 riders going down in that first turn. I've got a feeling that Maurizio Molina was involved in that one. Kai White just has a quick look just to see where the riders are behind him. Arboleda is out there in front. Ramirez in that 4th spot as well. So that first turn claiming 4 riders as they go in and out of the final corner. Kai White of Great Britain safe in that 2nd spot. Arboleda's going to take the win. Who's going to get that 3rd spot? Looks like Ramirez, the 4th place. That's going to go to Eddie Clerté of France. But it was all action in turn number 1. Meye went down. Ugamar went down. Everybody picking themselves up and rolling away, which is good to see, but that is the reality of World Cup racing.
It's very, very tough. Let's just take another look at this. And it was just clipping the wheels, wasn't it? And then it just was a chain reaction across the race field there.
Yeah, you're going absolutely full speed into turn number 1, and it looked like Ugamar had just tapped the wheel of the rider in front. That caused the chain reaction. Meanwhile, Arboleda was leading Kai White into that the final turn. Kai White always checking out where the competition is. How much effort does he need to put in? Enough to take him through in that 2nd position from gate 8. A great lap from Kai White.
And Kai White with a win in round 1 and in his 8th finals as well. Now we can see the world champion down there looking pretty chilled out there in those iconic rainbow strands. Better driver going to be coming up very shortly indeed. But you can see the confirmed results from the 2nd of our men's quarterfinals on your screen. They did not finish for the last 2 riders, but they will be back now. Our world champion lining up for the 3rd of our quarterfinals, Romain Mayu. Didn't have a great day too. He left that door wide open for Dode. He's going to want to come back, and we know that's his character.
Yeah, he's certainly going to push hard in this quarterfinal. He's got that inside gate there. He's got the shortest line into turn number 1. And if you are new to BMX, that's certainly an advantage towards being from the outside.
He likes to go from the gun. He likes to lead from the front. He's not been looking as good. A lot of speculation on the podcast that he's not so happy when he's got company around him. Let's see if that's going to be right.
Oh, long pause there before the gate drop. Ross Cullen of Great Britain in lane number 6, working his way right across, and he's there next door to Roman Mayu as they enter that first turn. Oh, the elbows touching. Ross Cullen just holding on to it at the moment. He's inside the top 3. Looks like he's got company with Cameron Larson of Team USA in there as well. Larson settled in that 3rd spot. Ross Cullen in there into Roman Mayu leading it out. It's a big battle for that final qualifying spot. That looks like Gil Brunner of Switzerland, who's 4th place at the moment, going into the final corner, but they are queuing up behind him. He's got him Emiliano De La Fuente in there in 5. Cullen's going to go through in 2. Mayu takes the win. I think Brunner made it through as well. Cameron Larson in the mix going through in that 4th spot. Brunner taking the 3. But great laps for Roman Mayu and Ross Cullen.
Yeah, Mayu on form, led from the front. Took it out. He was being challenged by Cullen, but he got very spicy indeed there, and he got pushed up a long way there. Cullen did well to hold on to that and to stay in contention and to take that 2nd place.
Yeah, nice clean moves there in that corner. May just gave Ross Cullen the room to stay upright. He could have quite easily pushed him over the turn, and meanwhile, Cameron Larson was in there in 3, Gil Brunner in 4. They switched around as they came to the line, but it was Mayu and Cullen going through. Great lap times, good position, good gate choice for the semi-finals.
And that gate choice decided for people who are new to BMX. How's the gate choice decided? It's decided on your fastest time.
Yeah, your lap times are very, very important, so you need to be up there to get that choice.
Well, Robert Mayo putting in a 34.487 from Ross Cullen, Brunner and Larson. The rest of the riders out of the competition here in round 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. To regroup for round number 4. Now we're going to move on to heat number 4, the 4th of our quarter-finals. As you can see, Corbin Sherratt here from the United States down to that gate early. Some of the riders just hanging back here, Rich.
Yeah, just taking the time, getting themselves ready. I mean, just looking at the lineup here for the last of these quarterfinals, you can see Isaac Kennedy there. But in terms of skills as well, you've got Michael Byers, you've got Jeremy Smith and Paddy Sharrock. So some very, very skillful and fast riders here in the last of these quarterfinals.
Really, really tough quarterfinals. Cedric Bouty in here, absolutely flying as well. So it's going to be very tough today. Rico Behrman will want to make it through from this as well.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Sharrock on the outside, Kennedy on the inside. 8 riders heading down the hill towards turn number 1. Looks like Rico Behrman getting himself across. He's right there on the outside as they go into turn number 1. Just checking out where the competition is. Oh, looks like Booty's gone off track. He's right there in the back of the pack. Michael Byers is trying to work his way through on the inside. Here comes Paddy Sharrock as well. He's up into that 2nd position. So Jeremy Smith in there in 3. Isaac Kennedy showing him a clean pair of heels. Sharrock of Great Britain in that 2nd spot into the corner. Jeremy Smith in 3. Michael Byers in 4. It got all mixed up as they came out of turn number 1. Kennedy takes the win. Sharrock for 2. Jeremy Smith for 3. Byers in 4. But it was the mix-up in the first turn that caused all the chain reaction. And yeah, that's what that was the difference. Cedric Bouty out. Oh, and it looks like Rico Behrman hit the deck as well.
And Behrman, he was right up there to start off with, and then he got shunted right back through just on that wide turn. He got a good start. You can see him in contention. He looks across it, and it results in him going backwards.
Yeah, unfortunately, just he had some kind of issue. I'm not quite sure what went on as he went down that 2nd straight. Kennedy and Sharrock were 1 and 2 into the corner. Jeremy Smith and Byers 3 and 4. Meanwhile, all the action was going on. Rico Behrman had hit the deck. Sharrock will be pleased as punch with that lap. Great finish for him.
And for those people watching who are new to BMX, Paddy Sharrock not riding in the GB jersey there, not in his national jersey. He's riding his trade team, his commercial team jersey, and that's about who basically supports you to come to the event.
Yeah, if you see a rider in a national team jersey, it means they're a funded rider, and yeah, they're getting looked after by the National Federation.
And if they come in their commercial, in their sponsor's jersey, then that is who has brought them out to the event. So it does make it a little bit more difficult. Now, one of the true characters of the sport, one of the absolute heroes here, lined up, Rich. Are we going to see it coming back? We saw some serious frustration in the last 2 rounds. We're going to see it up on the lineup very shortly, but we're going to get ready now for the first of our quarterfinals here. Alicia Stansel of the United States up here. Can she do it, Rich? She's not looked like she's going to be in those finals every time. She's not had it absolutely nailed, really, has she, at the moment? We know she's capable of a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Felicia Stansel, she's won a world championship in 2022, so she'll be up there.
Freedom start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
First to the quarterfinals for the women elite. Here we go, Malin Kelstrup of Denmark in the middle. Oh, one rider's gone down on that first straight already. I've got a feeling that might have been Sienna Powell of Australia as they go in and out of turn number 1. Zoe Clayson's getting the whole shot. That looks like Gabriella Bolle in there in that second position. Malin Kelstrup in 3. Felicia Stansel of the USA inside the top 4, but she's got company, and that's her compatriot Lexis Colby who's in there in 5. Got a feeling Megan Williams might be. No, it's Layla Walker in there in that 6th position. In and out the final corner, it's Zoe Clayson of Switzerland. She's going to take the win. Bit of a gap there to Gabrielle Bolle in 2. Malin Kelstrup in 3s. Felicia Stansel hanging on for that 4th spot. Layla Walker out in 5 and Colby in 6.
So Felicia Stansel, we saw the start there, 9th in round 1, 5th in round 2, making the finals. 8 riders in that final, but a great ride from the front there. You could just see a big kick down the straight left-hand side. It all went wrong.
Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, Sienna Powell took a tumble. She literally just bumped elbows with the rider next to her. That was Singolani of Italy. She just unfortunately went down on that first straight, and that was her round 3 here in Brisbane over. Meanwhile, Zoe Claysons of Switzerland leading them in and out of that second turn. Malin Kelstrup in there in 3. She's building as we go through this World Cup Series. Felicia Stansel in there in 4th, being chased down by Lexis Colby. Lexis couldn't get close enough. Felicia Stansel taking that final qualifying position and making her way to the semi-finals.
Zoe Clayson's looked very, very good there. She was just so strong. You can see the time gap between her and Bolle Carrillo. Kelstrup and Stansel, with Sienna Powell a non-finisher after hitting the deck. Well, hopefully not hit the floor too hard. Now we're going to move on to heat number 2 with the golden girl in the gold of Australia here, Saya Sakakibara, the series leader, the rider really to beat last season and this.
Yeah, in there on that 77 plate, the red plate, the series leader. Let's see what she's got.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Australia with 2 riders here in this quarterfinal. Lauren Reynolds in there as well, right in the middle of the pack in that white jersey, but it looks like Saya Sakakibara heading into turn number 1. She's going to take that lead. She's got company though. Delaney Vaughan right there next to her as well. Looks like Molly Simpson in there in that 4th spot. Lauren Reynolds has worked her way into 3, but the series leader Saya Sakakibara almost unstoppable in the World Cup so far in 2024. She's opened up a 5 bike length gap over Delaney Vaughan in there in that second position. Reynolds going well in 3, Molly Simpson in 4. Here comes Talia Burford chasing her down that final straight. It's going to be a battle, Switzerland and Canada to the line. Who's going to get it at the stripe? Sakakibara takes the win, Simpson in 4, Burford in 5. Lauren Reynolds overcoming a bad start to work her way into that 3rd spot.
So a dominant performance by Saya Sakakibara coming through. She was 2nd in the first of the rounds. The rider who Dilly would love to beat. We just saw a shot from Beth Shariva there. She'll have seen that performance. She'll know that Saya's on form. She'll have seen her practicing here all the way through the week. A great race. Good move by Talia Burford. Thought she was going to be in there. Thought she was going to make the cut. Not to be.
Yeah, dived underneath, got right alongside Molly Simpson as they came down that final straight. Molly just had that little bit more. Talia Burford just going airborne. Lost a little bit of momentum. Simpson taking it across the line.
So the World Champion stripes are lined up on the top. Going to be entertaining the crowds down here in Brisbane. So Sakakibara, though, taking top spot from Vaughan, from Reynolds, from Simpson. And Burford with that last minute just dropping back a little bit, just taking it out of the top 4. Okay, this could be an absolute cracker here, because this is an absolutely stacked field in the 3rd of our quarterfinals, Rich.
Yeah, you look at who's lined up here. You've got Olympic medalist, Olympic champion, and the hometown favourite, Megan Williams. It's going to be a good one.
Point for the start, please.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
E3 of the Women Elite quarterfinals. final lead in the gate. Olympic bronze medalist Meryl Smulders on the inside. Judy Bowes there in the middle as they head towards turn number 1. Where is Bethany Shriver? She's back there in about 7th at the minute, so she's got some serious work to do. Has the world and Olympic champion as they head down that second straight. Meryl Smulders out in front. Judy Bowes battling with Mariana Pahon. Beth Shriver back there in 7th, so she's going to have to work her way through. Elise Willoughby's not in a qualifying position, so we are looking at shocks galore as we head towards the final straight. Is Beth Shriver going to make it through? She's making a move now. There's pressure coming left and right. It looks like the Olympic champion might be going out. Smulders is taking it to the line. Pahon through as well. Oh, all mixed up. Bethany Shriver, Camille Murr, Elise Willoughby of Team USA definitely out. A big photo finish there, and we are going to have to wait for the confirmed results.
So when we talk about photo finish, Rich, this is because it is too close to call on the line from the camera, so the photo finish will tell us this. Now, Shriver didn't get a great start there off that gate.
No, she certainly didn't, and she had to battle her way through. Meanwhile, Meryl Smulders was leading it into the turn, and Elise Willoughby was right there in that third spot as they went into turn number 1. Mariana Pahon in there in 4. Camille Murr was trying to get in as well. I think it was Leah Brindonk, of France. And as they came in and out the final corner, Brindonk made a move on Shriver. And it was all getting mixed up. Elise Willoughby back there in 7th, which is not where we expected to see her. Smulders took into the strike. Pahon in there in 2. Judy Bow in 3. And it looked like Shriver going out at the quarter-final stage.
So Mariana Pahon going to be happy about it. You can see the gap there on the photo finish camera that slows it right down. And it is going to be Shriver who is going to be taken out, not making it through with Camille Murr as well as Elise Willoughby and Megan Williams. Good to see Pahon up there. She had frustration. She's come back. We know she's got class. She's shown it time and time again. Referred to the Queen of BMX so many times. Will this be where she makes her way in to those finals and gets herself back on top spot? Now, in with Manon Veenstra, your rider, your real pick last time round in the last weekend of racing. She's up against Tessa Martinez. Can Martinez get on form? She should be there. Let's watch the action.
Last of the quarterfinals for the Women Elite. Manon Veenstra heading down that hill, had a great time in Rotorua, picking up 2 finals, and she's going to lead it into turn number 1. So Manon Veenstra picking up where she left off in round number 2, and that looks like Axel Etienne in there in that second position. The French stacking up behind her. Tessa Martinez is in there in 3, and that looks like the 94 of Nadine Eberhard from Switzerland who's in that 4th spot. Where is Saya Takayama of Japan? She's there or thereabouts. She's going to have to try and make her way in that final corner. In and out we go. It looks like Eberhard's going to hang on to that 4th spot, but there's no doubt who's going to take the win. Manon Veenstra from Axel Etienne at the line. Martinez in 3, Eberhard in 4, and Takayama back to World Cup racing, but out in the quarterfinals with a 5th.
So Tessa Martinez, who was so strong last season, we watched her take away a fantastic season, and she came into the first 2 rounds, didn't have a great time weekend 1. She's much better this time around. Axel Etienne, though, really coming out to play. It's the Axel Etienne that comes through and absolutely is right on the ball.
Yeah, she was. She got a great start, and Manon Veenstra next to her didn't, but Manon kept the bike down. She kept the power on over that first jump, and that was enough to catapult her into the lead as they came out of that first turn. Axel Etienne getting ever closer at the line, couldn't quite overhaul Veenstra, so it was Veenstra 1, Etienne in there in 2, Tessa Martinez and Nadine Eberhard rounded out the top 4.
So it has been an absolutely frantic run down here in Brisbane in the last of our Women's Elite quarterfinals. So Veenstra, Etienne, Martinez and Eberhard are going in and through, and that rounds out our quarterfinals. Time to head across to our semi-finals. So here we are for round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup here in Brisbane. Rich is busy scanning the crowds, trying to spot the friends down there. His insider information on the stands. Wonder who their pick is here. Oliver Moran in here with Joshua Jolly. Davis Harris has been absolutely flying as well. This whole race, but it just culminates, doesn't it? We get more and more riders being eliminated, and it just narrows the field down, and it means that we have the riders on form in here all the time now. Jack Greenhoff, one of the two Greenhoff brothers, but Oliver Moran, surely got to be your pick here, Rich.
Yep, definitely one of my picks.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Moran, Jolly and Davis all gates 1, 2 and 3 got very busy even straight out of the gate, and Harrison Davis has already been shuffled out of the back of the pack, so he's gone from 3rd to 8th as they come out of that first turn. Oh, one rider's hitting the deck, didn't quite pick up who that was, but Moran is leading it out. Capello in there in 2, James Cutter-Williams in 3, and that looks like Marcus Lett of Denmark in that 4th spot, so it's all been mixed up. I've got a feeling one of the Australians went down, but as they go in and out the final turn, Oliver Moran, certainly one you give a shout for a podium here in Brisbane in round number 3. He's going to take the win in the semi-final. Capello in 2, a little nod from James Cutter-Williams in 3, Joel Marsh in 4, and Davis working his way back from 8th but couldn't do enough and went out in 5th.
So Oliver Moran, who took a 4th place in round 1, a 2nd place in round number 2, takes the win in the first of our semi-finals here, and that was a big old slide out there. You could just see just bouncing on the side there. Couldn't quite get to his grip even when he hit the deck, but a great ride from Capello with it being clean. Cutter-Williams was looking good there. Great to see him right in contention.
Yeah, it was, and it was unfortunate for Jack Greenhoff, one of our winners in Rotorua, who slid out in that first corner. He went down in a heat. Joshua Jolly's out as well, so 2 guys who you would have expected to be in the final, not quite making it through.
And yet their time showing they came in and over the line, but we are going to see a big shake-up in the overall standings, and that is going to change the points allocation in a big way when we come to the end of round number 3. Now on to the second of our men's semi-finals here, with another stacked field in this. Let's see who is going to take this, because this, I think, could be an absolute thriller here. Rich, who's your eyes on?
Yeah, in this second semi-final, Noah Elton, he's already hit the podium in New Zealand, so he'll be looking for a good finish, and there's a rider I've got my eye on. Certainly very easy to spot on that pink bike. It's Jesse Asmus of Australia. He's in there in gate.
And don't ever discount Bennett Greenough. There's the number 500 plate. He's a rider who has got the top of the standings. He took a 2nd and a 1st place in rounds 1 and 2. Will he be able to take it out today?
Yeah, Jordan Callum of Australia in gate number 2. So our crowd get ready to watch this semi-final action.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Second semi-final is Go Elton on the outside, Asmus on the inside, Marco Radielli right there in the middle of the pack as they head towards turn number 1, but it looks like Bennett Greenoff of New Zealand picking up where he left off. Oh, Noah Elton hitting the deck in that first turn, so his race here in Brisbane is done. He's going to have to come back for round number 4, but Greenoff and Asmus battling away in that second turn. That looks like Jordan Callum in there in 3, Benel Salzar in there in 4, but it's the pink bike of Jesse Asmus leading it in and out of the turn. Oh, riders going down in the final corner as well. That's mixed it right up. Asmus taking the win. Callum in 2. Radaelli coming through in that 4th position. Oh, all action in the first of the semi-finals.
And look at that, Bennett Greenoff out of the finish as well. You can just see Moran being no else has been picked up there. This is a real shock, though. We are seeing both Greenoff brothers out, so it's 1 and 2 not making it through into our finals, and it just seemed to be isolated incidents here.
Yeah, I think Noah Elton just got a slight elbow that nudged him over the turn. Asmus and Greenoff were battling, and Jordan Callum was in there as well. Radielli was back there in 5. Oh, Greenoff got the nudge just as they came off the jump into the final corner. That was enough to put him over the bars. Didn't quite catch that at the time. Radielli went right round the outside. He got that 4th position. So disappointment for Benny Greenoff, who had a 2nd and a 1st in the first 2 rounds in Rotorua.
So as we await for those confirmed results, Bennett Greenoff out, number 1 in the series, out, number 2 in the series, out, number 4 in the series, out, number 5 in the series, out. Big changes in the series. This is going to mix things up big style. Jesse Asmus and Jordan McCallum for Australia on the top of the leaderboard there for heat number 2, the second of our men's under 23 semi-finals. Lots of surprises. That's a big change.
That is a big change. I've just got time to catch my breath as we see Ross Cullen of Great Britain getting ready for his semi-final very shortly. And Kai White relaxed as usual. I'm sure he'll be dancing around to some music in the pits.
I'm sure I saw Ross Cullen with a fan on him during the practice because it was so hot. Not having that today because it is a little bit cooler with that cloud cover at the moment. Oh, great to see Emily Hart all smiles up here despite coming in through the last chance qualifiers. She'll be looking to go through a little bit smoother from this one. No last chance now. Top 4 riders going through from our semi-finals, going into our finals. But Taya Rufus, the rider on form and the rider who's sitting 2nd place in the standings. And remember, Ava Corley, the number 1 in the standings, not taken to the start injured at the moment.
Yeah. Isaac Kennedy of Australia, just poised and focused. Taya Rufus just getting ready to go in this first semi-final in women under 23. Made her under 23 debut in Rotorua in round 1. Took the win. You couldn't ask for a better debut than that. Veronika Stariska of Latvia there, just ready to line herself up in gate number 5. Certainly she's been a revelation in this under 23 age group. Her round 2 in Rotorua did not go as planned. Emily Hutt on the outside doing it for Great Britain. So the women under 23 final getting ready to go. We are expecting some serious action here. Round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup in Brisbane, Australia.
So riders lined up against the gate. That's Pro Gate ready to fire downwards out of the rider's way at the start of the race. The competitors lined up ready for their next races. They're going to be watching on. Time to see who's going to go through to our finals.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
I've got my eye on Taya Rufus and Veronika Stariska in this first semi-final. Emily Hutt working her way across from the outside as they head towards turn number 1. Taya Rufus looking like she's going to pick up that whole shot. Yes, she does. In and out we go. Rufus, Stariska, Beltrando, Emily Hutt. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4 as they come out of turn number 1. Veronika Stariska, she's on the outside looking in at the moment. She's in there in 5, so she's really going to have to push hard to catch the rider in 4. But Taya Rufus picking up where she left off in round number 1 in Rotorua, leading it in and out of that final corner. Where is Emily Hutt? She looks like she's out of it as well. So the Great Britain rider not making it through. Taya Rufus taking the win. Beltrando in 2. Charlie Guy in 3. Isabel Schramm in 4. But disaster for Emily Hutt of Great Britain coming in 7th.
Well, great ride there by Marion Beltrán. I saw her make that move. She came down, she dived on the inside coming into that corner. Absolutely flying in the blue and white. Watch come up the inside here. Absolutely flying. She made the finals in round 1. She was sitting in 14th place in round 2. It put her in 10th place in the series standings. She's made another final here.
Yeah, she certainly has. Taya Rufus, though, the confidence absolutely flowing out of this rider. She was 7 or 8 bike lengths clear over Beltrando. Stariska coming through in 5th. She'll be disappointed with that, but Taya Rufus ticking another box, heading towards possibly another World Cup win.
And she must know that she needs to stay clear of trouble and take herself up to the top of those series standings. She's got through to the final. Stariska, Murphy and Hutt not making our finals. Who will be joining Rufus, Beltrando, Guy and Schramm in those women's under 23 finals? Well, it's time to find out as we move on to the second of our semi-finals here. And Isabel May, a rider who you've really loved, you were somebody who you were bigging up in the podcast I was listening to in the week. We'll see whether or not she's going to do that. Always great smiles, very relaxed, you were saying, on the top of the gate, and that's certainly something that I think the crowd probably noticed, given that she is a home favourite.
Yeah, she is. Isabel May of Australia, just nice and relaxed. She'll be in that gate, but there is Aiko Gomez of Belgium, the former world pull track champion. She knows what it takes to get good results in competitions like this. Isabel May on the inside. Dewey Yabuta, she hit the podium as well in one of the rounds in Rotorua, but Isabel May all smiles there, and she rides with her brother Blake quite regularly. You can keep up with their antics on YouTube, and certainly this semi-final getting ready to go. I'll have my eyes on Isabel May and Dewey Yabuta.
Just waiting to be called down to the gate here in Brisbane, Australia, this fantastic sports venue that's going to see the 2032 Brisbane Olympic Games here in 8 years' time. Hopefully we'll be seeing these under-23 riders in action then. Will it be May who we're seeing in action in the home games?
Okay, riders, ready to start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Isabel May and Sabina Korsakova, gates 1 and 2, the prime pick on the inside, but as they move across, Isabel May coming together with Tegan Pascal as they go into the turn, people weaving and diving left and right. Korsakova's been shuffled up into the top of the turn, and that's put her back there in about 6th at the moment, so it was all action before we got to turn number 1. Isabel May though leading it through. Dewey Yabuta inside the top 3, Aiko Gomez with that final qualifying spot. There's a big gap to 5, so it looks like these 4 are going to go through, but it's Isabel May of Australia leading down the final straight. Pascal in there in that 2nd spot. She's riding for Canada, going through. Dewey Yabuta in there as well. Aiko Gomez, but it all got a little bit twitchy as they came down that first straight.
So it's like Manikova and Korsakova not going to make a final, which they did in round 2 in Rotorua. That's here in Australia. You saw Isabel May came together, no panic, no flapping, straight back on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you get an elbow in your armpit at that speed going down the first straight here at Brisbane, I'd be like, I'll be breathing in at that point for sure. Tegan Pascal was looking good in 2 with Dewey Yabuta in 3. Aiko Gomez was still making moves in that final corner, trying to push her way up, pick up another spot, get a better gate pick for that final, but she ended up in the 4th place.
So at the moment, Rufus and May taking top spot in their semi-finals, looking very, very strong indeed. Yabuta getting closer. We've got Pascal and Gomez going in and through, but Beg, Kostakova and Manikova, well, they're going to have to move on to round number 4, also here in Brisbane, Australia. So the under-23 women's competition done as we take a run over the outdoor Olympic-sized pools. It's looking very nice. Maybe not as quite a hot weather as need to go diving there. We're going to see a Malvern's lake jump style dive in there. Certainly looked like a big enough ramp.
Yeah, definitely did. As we see Ross Cullen just walking up the back of that start hill, Dave van der Berg in there as well. He's got the Dutch champion, national champion sleeve on his jersey. Paddy Sharrock on the 217 out of Great Britain. All heading up for the semi-final here in round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. But there is your start list for semi-final 1. Kennedy and Davis doing it for the home fans. We've got Roman Mayu, the world champion, in there as well. And Kai White's looking to make his first main event of the season.
And of these, Roman May, if he gets a start and he gets that run down, should be up there. Will he be able to do that? I think it's a big ask to think he's going to have a clean run at this, given you've got Kennedy's going absolutely, he's on form. Kai White showing he's absolutely flying as well. Our second half of competitors for the semi-finals are waiting. You see Dode and Cullen there just at the front of the queue. The crowds at the side are going to be getting entertained, and hopefully they're going to be inspired as much as you are to jump on your bike, maybe listen to a podcast. I mean, we talked about that a lot, but we do a lot of podcast listening on our research. So maybe the thing to do at the end of today, if you've really enjoyed this, if you want to learn more, get some more in-depth information, get onto the podcast, learn about Kai White.
Yeah, absolutely. The Prince of Peckham there on the outside, gate number 8. And yeah, Kai's looking to make his first final of the year. Gate number 7 from New Zealand came very, very close in round number 2 in Rotorua. That was Michael Bias. Gate 6 already had a USA BMX win this season. That is Karen Larson of the US of A. Next door to Karen Larson from Team USA, it's Jeremy Smith. Eyes closed, focused, getting himself ready. And gate number 4, out of Colombia, Olympic bronze medalist, the little magician, it's Carlos Ramirez. Gate number 3, wearing the rainbow stripes of the world champion, the World Cup Series winner overall in 2023, it's Roman Mayu. Number 2, out of Australia, expect a big cheer for the guy on the 216. It's Jack Davis.
And
on the inside, gate number 1, wearing the green and gold of Australia, it's Isaac Kennedy.
Kennedy making the finals in round 1, not making them in round 2. If you want to repeat that, he's got to get through 4 riders going through, 4 out of the competition, the end of this race.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
First of the semi-finals here, round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup, Brisbane, Australia. Looks like Kennedy and Mayu into the corner. Here comes Kai White on the outside, and Cameron Larson's in there as well. But Mayu being pushed high in that corner. He's back there in 7th now. Looks like the world champion might be going out. Kennedy in there in front. Larson in there in 2. Jeremy Smith in 3. Michael Bias in a qualifying position in 4. Kai White's going to have to make it happen in the final corner, and he's over jumped, so it looks like the Great Britain rider is going out as well as they bring it down towards the line. Kennedy, Larson, Smith, Bias. That's going to be your 1, 2, 3 and 4. The little magician couldn't make the magic happen in 5. Jack Davis out as well, and Roman Mayu not making the final again.
So Roman Mayu, who started the season so strongly with a win in round number 1, not making it through here, and just in all sorts of trouble from the start, really.
Yeah, and he looked so good. He was right there with Kennedy as they went into the turn. There was a little adjustment of the pedals as he came off that jump into the first corner. I'm wondering if that's just caused him to lose a little bit of momentum. Meanwhile, Jeremy Smith was diving up the inside of Carlos Ramirez. Kai White was looking to make a move, and he overjumped in the middle of that 3rd straight. That cost him some momentum as well. Couldn't carry that speed. Meanwhile, Isaac Kennedy was taking it through. Jeremy Smith, Cameron Larson, Michael Bias. Wow, the shocks continue.
So Roman Mayu, the man in 3rd place in the series standings, out of the competition and did not finish. Didn't see what happened to him, didn't see any sign of a crash. So it may well have been a mechanical, but when things start going wrong, they go wrong. When things go right, they go right. Isaac Kennedy right at the top there of the semi-final standings in the first of the semi-finals. The second semi-final in the men's elite about to come up as our competitors get ready, and these are looking pretty calm, just trying to keep cool. Now, Joris Dode is the man who could profit the most here from Mayu disappearing out from the competition here. Bootsy not going in through, so Dode could move further clear at the top of the series standings, but he's got to get through. He's up against some tough competition.
Yeah, and the first of those is in gate number 8 on the 217 out of Great Britain. Wigan's finest export, it's Paddy Sharrock.
These guys are all focused, all business here this afternoon.
So everybody lining up on the hill. Gate number 7, former World Pump Track champion from France, the 815, it's Eddie Clerté.
Line 8 through to line number 1.
Gate number 6 from Great Britain, unlucky in that semi-final in round number 2. Can he make up for it here in Brisbane? It's Ross Cullen. Gate number 5, the familiar colours of Switzerland on the 494. It's Gilbrunner.
On his inside,
On the 192 out of the Netherlands national champion, Dave van der Berg. Number 3 had a World Cup win in Glasgow in 2022. It's Jeremy Renkerel. Gate 2, also a winner that weekend in Glasgow from Colombia. It's Diego Arboleda. Gate number 1, the series leader out of France. They call him Mr. Sunday. Will he be Mr. Saturday as well? It's Joris Dode.
So riders lined up and ready. Jeremy Renkerel, 10th in the series standings. He can move up above him. Only Isaac Kennedy and Joris Dode potentially in the finals. Big points available. Time to let the legs do the talking now. It's time for race start.
Let's have a look as they head down the hill in this second semi-final. Where is Ross Cullen of Great Britain? He's right there inside the top 4 as they head towards turn number 1. Dode getting the whole shot. Cullen in there in 2. That looks like Eddie Clertet, who's worked his way in. Where is Paddy Sharrock? He's in there in 5th spot now, chasing down Renkerel. And we all know that Paddy's got skills as they go through these rhythm sections as they head down towards that final corner. Sharrock's making his move on Renkerel as they get towards the final turn. Can't quite make the move stick. He's going to have to try again down that final straight. It's going to be Dode, Cullen, Clertet, Renkerel, Sharrock out in 5. He was so close. Renkerel taking the 4, but Ross Cullen making the final. He'll be delighted with that one.
So Cullen going through with Dode, Clertet and Renkerel. The French putting 3 riders through out of the 4, making the final in that, the second of our semi-finals here. Renkerel came on the inside, and you said Sharrock was moving up on the rhythm sections. He pulled alongside as they came down straight, but he just didn't seem to have just quite enough coming into that corner. Just need that little bit more.
Yeah, just as they came through that 3rd straight, Paddy Sharrock over jumped the middle jump there, and I think Kai White did the same thing as well and just lost a little bit of momentum. Very strange to see the same thing happen to both of those riders, but Cullen, no such problems. He's made the main for Great Britain.
So here are your confirmed results. Renkerel going through, Dode going through with Cullen and Clertet. Dode can extend his lead at the top and will do by making the finals alone. Never mind what he can do in those finals. The more points available, big points available for the win compared to the positions below. One person who knows exactly how this is, somebody who's a very thinking rider as well as an action and an emotive rider. Seisaka Kibara, a rider that we know is going to be thinking about those points. Perfect score so far, but she'll want to take away a win. But in this, the first of our Women's Elite semi-finals, it is a packed field here, and it's so difficult to choose who is going to go through of these 8 riders, because it's an obvious favourite here, Zoe Claessens?
I think this is very evenly kind of spaced out, this first semi-final. Zoe Claessens, former European champion in there, certainly got the potential to do very well. I've just noticed that there's some umbrellas going up in the crowd as well. Whether that's just keeping the heat off them or whether it's actually started to rain is a different matter entirely. It looks like the rain has started to fall here in Brisbane, Australia, at round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. That could shake it up a little, but these riders getting ready for the semi-finals. And out in gate number 8 from France, it's Leah Brindon. She's poised and ready to go. Gate number 7 on the 94 plate for Switzerland, that is Nadine Eberhardt. Gate 6 on the 388 from the Netherlands, it's Julie Bow. Gate 5, looking focused, looking to make that World Cup final. It's Delaney Vaughan from the USA.
Make some noise.
door to her on the 100. The double Olympic champion from Colombia. All smiles under that helmet. It's Mariana Pajon. Gate number 3 from the Netherlands. Double main maker in rounds 1 and 2. It's Manon Veenstra. On the 14th place from Colombia. Gate number 2, Gabriela Bolle. Gate number 1 on the inside. The 65 from Switzerland. The European champion, Zoe Claessens. So the first semi-final women elite ready to go. Let's see which 4 riders are going to make that final.
Set. Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
As the rain starts to fall here in Brisbane, Australia, 8 riders leaving the gate. Only 4 are going to make it through to the final. Zoe Claessens leading into the turn. Veenstra in there in 2. Judy Bow inside the top 4. Gabriela Bolle in there in 3. Nadine Eberhard in 5. Leah Brindog trying to make her way through as well. But it's Claessens leading it into the turn. Veenstra in 2. Bolle in 3. Bow in 4. So there's 2 Dutch riders poised to make this main event. Brindog's back there in 5. Mariana Pajon in 6. Might have left herself a little bit too much to do as they go in and out the final corner. It's Claessens, Veenstra, Bolle and Bow. That's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Brindog's going to go out in 5. The double Olympic champion not making it through either, but Zoe Claessens looking very, very poised.
Well, Claessens, we said at the start, could well have been the the favourite there, and she showed that with her pace there. But Mariana Pajon not getting the best of starts. She got squeezed out really there and got pushed back, and she never recovered from that.
No, she didn't. Unfortunately not. The double Olympic champion going out at the semi-final stage. Claessens had got a nose out in front at that point. I was just looking at Judy Bow battling away with Leah Brindog as they came out of that turn, and Bow had worked her way into that 4th position. Veenstra making her 3rd final out of 3 in the 2024 World Cup. She's had a 6th, she's had a 3rd. Is she going to get to the top of the podium? We'll find out very, very shortly. Bolle going through in that 3rd spot, Bow in 4, and that was the way they finished.
So our crowds surviving despite the little bit of rain cooling them down. It's still warm in Brisbane here, this venue that has seen 2 weeks of great racing with the Queensland State Series, the National Series and the Oceania Championships before this, the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Your 4 riders through from the first of our women's elite semi-finals: Claessens, Veenstra, Bolle, Carrillo and Bow. They are going to be joined by 4 more riders, and surely out of the next 4, it's probably even harder to call than the first of our semi-finals, Rick.
Yeah, very much so. It's very evenly matched, and we're just looking at Molly Simpson of Canada there. She's going to be looking to put daylight between herself and the rest of the pack. She's out there in gate 8, poised and ready. Those eyes behind those goggles containing pure steel. The 23 of Felicia Stansel from the USA. She's in there in gate number 7. She was the 2022 Elite Women World Champion, so she knows what it takes to win. Crowd certainly enjoying themselves despite the rain as we move to gate number 6.
Into gate 6 for France.
On the 1-1-1-2023, she was in the under 23 class. She stepped up to elite. That is Tessa Martinez.
Gate 5 belongs to Denmark.
Gate 5 quietly building through this year from Denmark. It's Malin Kelstrup. Gate number 4 from Australia, looking to put on a show in front of the home fans. Very, very consistent in the World Cup standings. It's Lauren Reynolds.
On her inside,
Gate 3,
from France.
focused behind those dark goggles. From France on the 13 plate, it's Axel Etienne. Gate number 2. From the Netherlands, the national champion sleeve, the Olympic bronze medalist, it's Mabel Schmulders. Gate 1,
Gate number
on the
1.
inside, the series leader, almost unstoppable. It's Sakakibara. So the second semi-final of Women Elite, round 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. We are ready to go. 4 riders going through, 4 riders going out. Let's see what happens as the rain falls.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Sakakibara smolders Etienne, gates 1, 2 and 3 as the rain falls even harder in Brisbane, heading towards that first turn. Sakakibara getting the whole shot. That looks like Axel Etienne in there in 3. Molly Simpson's worked her way into that second spot. Meryl Smolders in there in 4, and it looks like Felicia Stansel in that 5th position. Lauren Reynolds back there in 6, but Sakakibara opening up another lead now. Imperious form as they head into that final corner. It's going to be Sakakibara, Simpson, Etienne, Smolders. That's your 1, 2, 3 and 4. Felicia Stansel, is she going to miss out in 5? Simpson crossing the line in there in 2. Sakakibara taking the win. Stansel in there in 5. Lauren Reynolds, her consistency letting her down in there in 6. But yeah, all action in the second semi-final.
So Sakakibara in with a chance to extend her lead at the top of the standing. She did it in style. So she made her way down that straight very quickly up into the lead, but they were packed out at this stage coming in to turn number 1. Axel Etienne sitting in 3rd place, and the position is really very difficult for riders to move up here because of the speed of that initial acceleration.
Yeah, also as well, if you try and make moves in the corners, because the corners are obviously getting wetter and wetter as this rain continues to fall, and that's going to make it more treacherous. If you want to make a move in one of these turns, if you're in 5th and you want to look for that 4th, you might as well just make that dive bomb move. But Stansel couldn't get close enough to make it, and unfortunately Meryl Smolders taking that position away from her.
So the riders are going through. Veenstra making another final. She will be joined by Sakakibara, Simpson, Etienne and Smolders. So Meryl Smolders with the potential to move right up in those standings with Veenstra. They're going to be chasing Sakakibara, but how close will that gap be? But it's all left down to the finals. So it's our semi-finals have been very, very interesting so far as we've worked our way in and through. Rich, the racing is affected by the race. Like you're saying there, the riders not being able to make maybe as bold a move as they come into the turns because of what it could be potentially a lack of grip in there, and that does affect the riding, despite the fact that this track is one of the best tracks in the world.
Yeah, it is. It can get a little bit greasy in those turns, and those tyres that they're running are actually quite smooth as well. Not completely smooth, but smoother than maybe the average viewer might expect them to be, because they want to get that less rolling resistance. They want to get the speed, so there's a trade-off, there's a balance that they've got to kind of overcome. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out in this men's under-23 final.
Well, you can see the water just in the centre of the track. The rain comes down at the moment here. It's the forecast is saying rain. It's definitely raining right now, and you can see it beating just on the side of the bumpers at the side of the track. Our race officials down here, our medics, we have waiting on standby. Hopefully they're not going to be needed. Now, one of the big things that came up between rounds 1 and 2 was the number of riders who've been taken out due to injuries. This round so far has been pretty smooth, and we don't want to curse this. Let's see what happens when we move into our finals. So here at the UCI BMX Racing World Cup, it's round number 3 from Brisbane. It's our men's under-23 finals. Rich, 3 Australians. lined up at the top. Fourth one, Joel Marsh, down in the 5:30 plate. They've got half of the race field. Can they make it count? Can they get a whitewash on the podium? It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, but it's certainly possible. I mean, I've called Oliver Moran for a podium, definitely. But anything can happen in BMX, and one of the riders trying to stop him is in gate number 8 from Italy. He's the former junior world champion. That is Marco Radaelli. Gate 7 out of Australia. That's Joe Marsh. The crowd will make some noise for that rider. Gate 6 from Ecuador, Pedro Benalcázar Guerrero. Gate 5 had a tough time in the earlier rounds, but he's in the main event, and that's where you need to be from Team USA's James Cutter-Williams. Gate 4 out of Argentina. One of those riders with almost magical powers in the turns. It's Federico Capello.
On his inside.
On the inside, gate number 3, certainly one of my riders to watch in this men under 23 final. It's Oliver Moran.
Gate number 2 also belongs to
Right there next to him on the 508 plate. It's Jordan Callum.
And out of gate number
On the
1.
inside, gate number 1, looking for his very first World Cup win from Australia, Jesse Asmus. So Australia well represented in this men under 23 final. But there's 8 riders, any of them can win, and we are about to find out who they will be.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
The men under 23 final, round 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup is underway. Asmus heading towards that first turn. Oh, it looks like the Ecuadorian riders hit the deck, so sliding out. But it's Jesse Asmus out there and in control of the minute. Radaelli on the outside, Oliver Moran's in there as well. And Jordan Callum inside the top 4. Moran makes his move on Radaelli. It's Australia 1 and 2 at the minute. Asmus, Moran, Callum. It's Australia 1, 2 and 3. Cutter-Williams in there in 5. It looks like it's going to be an Australian sweep of the podium as they come to the line. Jesse Asmus takes the win. Oh, Jordan Callum and Radaelli going down as well. That's mixed it right up. Radaelli did his bike cross the line. We're going to have to wait for the confirmation. Jesse Asmus taking the win.
And it looked like it was going to be an Australia 1, 2, 3 there, Rich. We came down the finishing straight, and that was a big hit there. And you can see him picking himself up. We don't normally see problems that close to the line. That was just tough day at the office. I mean, we thought he was going to make it through. Is it the bike or is it the rider? For those people who are not with BMX, is it the rider or is it the bike that's got to get over the line?
Well, they've got a transponder on the bike, so if the transponder breaks that beam, I would suggest that officially they've crossed that line, so we'll have to wait and see what the commissaire is actually saying, what the decision will be. Meanwhile, looking at the replay, Jesse Asmus in there in front. Salazar hitting the deck, so it got mixed up in that turn. Meanwhile, Jesse Asmus was out in front. Radaelli trying to make his move there. Moran diving up the inside. Jordan Callum was in there as well. James Cutter-Williams in 5. We might be able to see what happened there. Moran, oh, it just looks like Jordan Callum got unweighted. Radaelli almost ran over him. It got so mixed up, you couldn't tell from the forward angle what had gone on. But yeah, all action in this men's under 23 final.
Well, you can see the bike and rider going through together, just about in touch with each other, so I think it won't matter whether it was the bike or the rider. In the commissaire's race referees, for those of you who maybe don't know the cycling parlance, not having to make that decision. What a tough day for the riders out there. But Asmus, Moran and Radaelli are your 1, 2, 3 in the race. The Italian breaking in to the Australian top 3. Let's hear from our race winner.
Jesse, congratulations on the win. An incredible run into that first turn was what kept you out in the lead, and you rode the track like it wasn't raining. But give us a brief on how it went for you from your perspective.
Definitely felt like it was raining when I was out there, but now I'm stoked. Like, messed the gate up a little bit, but was able to get some momentum down the first straight. As everyone probably saw, I got a bit loose on that triple out of the turn, which was a little scary, but yeah, I don't know, I'm just stoked. Like, when I was in front, I was just trying to stay calm and do what I do, because I know a lot of these guys have got some good track speed, so I was just making sure I was being defensive and making sure I came down that last straight with a good line so I could stay in the lead.
So you've ridden the track quite some time, but now hearing the cheers, taking the win, how does it feel now that you let it, maybe it hasn't fully sunk in, but now that you've come across and won the World Cup here in Brisbane?
Honestly, it's surreal. Like, they called my name and the crowd went crazy, and like, to me, that's, yeah, I don't know, I'm so stoked to be able to do that in front of the home crowd, and I appreciate all the support from everyone here today, and yeah, it's so sick. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations indeed, and you could hear the crowd going there. Absolutely great to see him taking that. A real character. You predicted that he was going to go out there to take this. He made it his own.
Yeah, he certainly did. Came across the line. He probably didn't have a clue what was going on behind him. Marco Radielli is the most unorthodox podium I think he'll ever get, but he'll take it.
So, well, let's see if he's made it to get to the ceremonies. Let's see if Marco Radielli's picked himself up. He has. Well, he's there. He's got the hole in the elbow of the skin, so he went through sideways. He takes third place here for Italy. It's a second place for Oliver Moran, and that means that he will move up into the lead, I think, in the overall competition. We'll see that with points totals added up. But the winner of round number 3 of the BMX Racing World Cup here in Brisbane, it is Jesse Asmus of Australia. Your 1, 2, 3 here today. Jesse Asmus with the win, Oliver Moran in second, and Marco Radielli in third. Great racing, full of incident, and that finish line, that is pretty unorthodox to go across. It looked like he hit the bike, and it flipped him sideways because he just had, he wouldn't have been expecting anybody to come down in front of him there.
Yeah, Jordan Callum just got unweighted, and it was just enough to send him over the front of the bike. And Radielli, he's going so fast, he's got nowhere to go. He doesn't have the opportunity to kind of make a manoeuvre that's going to move him out of the way, and straight over the top and sliding across the finish line. But like I say, a podium's a podium. He'll take it, and he'll be back in round number 4, hopefully for a less eventful main event.
Indeed, Jesse Asmus, we talk about him being a real character. I mean, like a lot of the riders, social media is so important to the riders, and giving them a follow, actually, it helps their career, doesn't it? And if you want to find out about the riders, it's a great way to know more about them.
Yeah, if you can pick yourself a favourite rider, go and follow them on social media, have a look at their YouTube channel and see what they're up to.
Okay, let's move across from our men's under 23 into the women's under 23 finals here. Taylor Rivers and Isabel May, the 2 riders who could profit the most here today with the absence of Ava Corley. But this, as we have seen, is maybe more open than most of the finals because of the rain, because of the weather. Rich, take us to our riders.
Yeah, gate number 8 from Japan made the podium in round number 1. That was Jimmy Yabusa. Gate number 7 out of Canada, riding out of the UCI World Cycling Centre. It's Tegan Pascal. Gate 6, former World Pub Track Champion out of Belgium. It's Heiko Gommers. Gate 5 from Australia. On the 5-1-3 plate, her very first World Under 23 final, Isabel Schramm. Gate 4 on the 5-1-8, all smiles from Australia. It's Charlie Guy. Gate 3 from France, poised and ready and focused. It's Marianne Beltrando.
Big smiles all round for
Gate number 2 from Australia. Is she going to take her very first World Cup win? She's stoked. It's Isabel May.
And on her inside, for
And on the
Australia.
inside, gate number 1, talking about the vibes. It's Taya Rufus of Australia. Listen to that crowd.
Quiet at the start, please.
Okay, riders, ready to start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So it's all Australia on the inside. Taya Rufus, Isabel May. Rufus has got a good start. Julia Buta coming across from the outside. Tegan Pascal's looking to get into the top 3. Aiko Gomez going high in that first turn, but it's Taya Rufus, the winner of round 1. Podium in round 2. Is she going to win round number 3? Isabel May in there in that second spot. Aiko Gomez in the 3rd position. Who's got that 4th? Tegan Pascal. Marianne Beltrando is battling away as well, but Taya Rufus of Australia leading into the final corner. Isabel May might not quite be close enough. She's chasing her to the line. Rufus, May, Gomez. That's going to be a 1-2-3. Taya Rufus takes her 2nd win of the 2024 World Cup season. Isabel May in 2. An Australian 1-2. Smiles all round.
Well, that's going to keep the home crowd happy. And a very clean run through there. Thought initially that we were going to see Isabel May just push that a little bit too far back, but she was challenged all the way into the line. And Taya Rufus couldn't relax for a second there, could she?
No, she certainly couldn't, but I think once she was out there and in front and in control, she had the choice of lines going into the turn. She could just make her way around in the perfect position. It was enough to hold off Isabel May. And as we have a look at the start, Taya Rufus absolutely flying on the inside there in gate number 1. It was all getting mixed up at the back of the pack. Isabel Schramm not getting what she wanted. Julia Buta was in there in 6. Beltrando was in 5. But it was Australia 1 and 2 as they headed into that second turn. Aiko Gomez was in there in 3. Tegan Pascal was trying to battle back. And as they went round the final corner, almost just in the perfect formation, Rufus, delighted as she crossed the line, takes her 2nd World Cup win out of 3 rounds. She can't ask for better than that.
What a race. Fantastic to see the action here today. I'm going to say good ride by Marianne Beltrando. Moves up. Her best position so far this season was a 7th place in round 1, 6th place in round 3 here. As you can see on your screens, it's Aiko Gomez who takes the 3rd place. So Australia again, 4 riders in the final. They take 2 spots on the podium once again, and they take the top 2 positions with Rufus and May, then Gomez. And it's great to see riders with that character of Rufus and May up on the top. Let's see what Taya Rufus has got to say for herself. She's down at interview now.
Another incredible race here in Brisbane. Talk us through how you rode the track so pristine here in these adverse conditions.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Do you know what?
The emotions
That
have
is
come
what makes
over you.
BMX special.
You're finally letting it sink in that you won. You hear the crowd giving you the cheers. Tell us how you feel about winning the race here.
Yeah, honestly, it's just been a dream ride for a long time. To do it in front of the home crowd is just absolutely insane. You know, I've sort of grown up with all these people here, and yeah, just have them here supporting me for my start of my career. You know, it's absolutely incredible.
Well, congratulations on your win here in Brisbane.
Thank you.
I'll tell you something, Taya Rufus gave it absolutely everything. She was pushed to the line, and she's on home turf. Rich, she looked smooth all the way there. She didn't panic when May was coming. Aiko Gomez put in a great performance to take away 3rd place. She was fiddling with the goggles. She was just trying to get them correct on the start gate, and yet she managed to nail it all the way in to the finish. She was being challenged on the way there. Gomez, it's a great result for her to get straight back onto that podium.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Taya Rufus overcome with emotion and delighted.
Fantastic to see a home rider on the top spot. Can Australia continue their domination now? Aiko Gomez makes her way to the podium for Belgium. You can see the Belgian flag just on her shoulders. There's the Australian flag on the shoulders of Isabel May, taking second place just in front of Aiko Gomez. But the rider who took the win, well, Taya Rufus will move to the top of the series standings with her win here today. Your 1, 2, 3, Taya Rufus in 1, Isabel May in 2, and in 3, Aiko Gomez. Great racing, the under 23s, spectacular, fast, great skills on show, and they are the future of BMX. They're the riders who may well be racing here in the 2026 BMX Racing World Championships and the 2032 Brisbane Olympic Games.
Yep, some serious competitions coming up in this part of the world over the next few years. And one thing you can be guaranteed, it'll be all action in all those events. As we look at the crowd, just still enjoying the racing here, albeit a little bit wetter than they were earlier on. The umbrella's still up, but certainly they won't mind as long as they've got some scorching action on the track.
And the next race, well, it's going to be quick. Dode, Cullen, Kennedy, Clerty, Rakerell, Smith, Larson, Bias. Okay, we don't have 4 Australians in here, but we do have 3 French. Are we going to see the French dominating? Dode's the man who's got the most to profit, but Kennedy? Is it going to be his day?
Yeah, it's possible, but he's got 7 other riders to get past, and the first of those for Great Britain out in gate number 8. It's Ross Cullen. Gate number 7 from New Zealand, speed and skills. It's Michael Bias. Gate 6 from the US of A. It's Cameron Larson. Gate 5 on the 27 plate, also out of Team USA. Can he make the podium here at round 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup? It's Jeremy Smith. Gate 4, the first of our French contingent on the 5 plate, Jeremy Rencarel. Gate number 3, also out of France on the 815 plate, it's Eddie Clerté. Gate number 2, you know he wants to get it done in front of the home fans on the 10, Isaac Kennedy. Gate number 1 from France, the series leader on the 33, it's Joris Dode. So the Men Elite Final is ready to go. Who will take the win?
Set. Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Who's going to take the win in the Men Elite Final? Will it be France? Will it be Australia or someone else entirely? We are about to find out. Joris Dode into the turn. Isaac Kennedy into Ross Cullen of Great Britain. He's in there in 3 of the moment, but he's being pursued by Jeremy Rencarel. Oh, Dode's gone down on the second straight. The series leader is out of it. Let's hope he's okay. Kennedy, Cullen, Jeremy Smith of Team USA is in there in that 3rd position. So as they go in and out the final corner, the home fans are going to get what they came for. Isaac Kennedy of Australia takes the win. Round number 3 in Brisbane. Ross Cullen of Great Britain hits the podium. Jeremy Smith takes that 3rd spot. But the second straight saw the action as the series leader hit the ground.
And Isaac Kennedy, this is what it means to take the win. This is what he's been working for. This is what he's wanted. And now he needs to revel in this, because that is a great win. The congratulations coming there from Cullen. No surprises there that he has congratulated him. Kennedy was flying down here. Dode was right in the mix. What went wrong for Dode?
I'm not quite sure. I think he just got that second straight slightly wrong. I had my eye on Ross Cullen going right round the outside. I knew Kennedy would be there or thereabouts. Maybe we can get an idea of what happened to Joris Dode, or just came up short, just clipped the back wheel on that jump, and he pitched him over the front. And meanwhile, Cullen just avoided the carnage, kept hold of that second position. Renkerel lost some speed, and Jeremy Smith worked his way into 3. But Isaac Kennedy, when you consider where he's come back from with that devastating injury that he suffered to his knee last year, he comes back, he wins a World Cup final, redemption for the Australian, and that reaction, well, he's done it in front of the home fans, and he's come all the way back from almost a career-ending injury. Wow, and that reaction says it all. Isaac Kennedy taking the plaudits from the fans. He'll be delighted with that. All that hard work paying off. Delight for the Australian.
Quite understandably. Great ride by Jeremy Smith. I don't think that should be discounted, should it? I mean, he came in, he took third place for the USA. You've got to be in contention. Yes, Dode came down, he came up short, he hit the deck. But you've got to be in position, you've got to be there to be in the mix. And Jeremy Smith did that, following Ross Cullen home, following Isaac Kennedy. And you can see all smiles in the camp. And no surprises there. The family that is BMX will be enjoying that. And as you say, after what was a really big stat, I mean, that knee injury, it was huge. And, you know, we were here for the series last year. We're here this year. I think it's probably fair to say that we haven't seen as big a smile in the commentary box for a long time as the pair of us have here today. Are Isaac Kennedy's smiles just as big? I bet they are. He's going to be down interview very shortly indeed. We'll get the confirmed results first of Isaac Kennedy in 1, Ross Cullen in 2, and Jeremy Smith in 3. As soon as we get news on your study, we'll bring that to you. But let's hear from our race winner. Let's see if he has managed to get his thoughts together.
Isaac, an incredible race chasing down Joris. He makes a small mistake, but you capitalize on it and come back from injury 9 months ago to take a win at a World Cup here in Brisbane. Try to unrail and let us and explain it to us on how it feels.
To be honest, Pete, I'm pretty speechless right now. Man, like 8 months ago, to be honest, I didn't even know if I wanted to race BMX anymore. Just, you know, going through the injury and all the like sort of demons that you go through. But yeah, I set a goal. I've worked every single day. It's my goal every single morning waking up has been to come out here and get back to where I am, where I was, and to get even better. And man, today to win my first ever World Cup in front of the hometown crowd, in front of my family. I got a bunch of friends here. It's probably the best day of my life.
Well, there's probably no way better to win your first World Cup than here in Brisbane. After all your adversity, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Pete.
Well, I think the crowd in tears as well, and no surprises. A great ride by Isaac Kennedy to take the win. Ross Cullen fighting all the way to late, takes second place, third place for Jeremy Smith. Renkerel comes through in fourth place. He's going to add to his points total, and it really is going to mix it up at the top of the series standings, with Dode making the final but not finishing, so he'll finish in 8th place. Renkerel coming through in 4th, and then basically Isaac Kennedy sandwiched in between. He takes the win here, and that is going to push him right up those standings. Be very interested to see where that is at the end of this round number 3. And that emotion, best day of his life. You bet it is.
Yeah, we'll let the mathematicians do what they need to do and work out the point standards. But yeah, Isaac Kennedy, absolutely delighted. We've had 3 Australian winners in 3 finals. We've got 1 more final to come. Will Australia make a clean sweep here in round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup?
I'll tell you something, on the podiums there'll be a lot of playing of the Australian national anthem, that is for sure. Before we get to that point, we have one more final, and before we get to our final, we have our flower ceremony for our elite men. Taking a third place here, Jeremy Smith from the United States of America. Taking second place, Ross Cullen from Great Britain, but taking away the race win here in round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup from Brisbane in Australia. It's Isaac Kennedy of Australia.
Yep, traditional flower ceremony. Ross Cullen making the podium. I'm sure there'll be tears from mum and dad back in Preston, sat on the settee watching the coverage.
Be careful, they'll be moving out to Brisbane along with the other families. It seems to be a happy hunting ground for the... are they Prestonites from Preston?
Quite possibly, yeah, but they're all smiles at the moment.
I bet they are. And great racing on here. Now, as soon as we do get news on Duddy, we put in the request. Please let us know how he's doing. We know he's made out of tough stuff. But time for us to move on to our women's elite finals here in round 3. Zoe Claysons has been looking great. Veenstra in yet another final. Axel Etienne back to the Axel Etienne we know. But they've all got Saya Sakakibara to beat. Surely you wouldn't put odds against it being 4 Australian podiums.
Well, it's certainly looking that way, but we've got one more final to go. 7 riders trying to stop Saya Sakakibara from winning that main event, and the first of those is up there in gate number 8. Representing the Netherlands, it is Judy Bouw. Gate number 7. Olympic bronze medalist, also out of the Netherlands, it's Mel Schmulders. Gate 6, out of France, a change of goggles, gone from the dark ones to the clear ones. That is Axel Etienne. Gate number 5, out of Canada, poised and ready. It's Molly Simpson. Number 4 from Colombia, looking for her very first World Cup win. It's Gabriela Bolle. Gate 3, the third rider from the Netherlands, made the finals in round 1 and 2, and she's looking for a win in round 3. It's Manon Veenstra. Gate 2, not quite on the inside, but in the green and gold of Australia. It's Saya Sakakibara. Gate number 1 for Switzerland in the European Champions jersey. It's Zoe Claessens. So round number 3 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup in Brisbane, Australia. The Women Elite Final ready to go. Can Australia make it 4 from 4?
Set. Okay, riders, ready to start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
The finals underway, 8 riders heading down the hill. Saya Sakakibara, Zoe Claessens heading towards turn number 1. Claessens looking like she's going to pick up the whole shot. She's out in front. Saya Sakakibara in there in 2. Oh, there's been carnage behind. The Colombian's gone down. Axel Etienne's hit the deck as well. But Zoe Claessens, is she going to spoil the party for the Australians? In and out of that second turn. Veenstra looking good in 3. Molly Simpson in 4. But Zoe Claessens, the European champion, is Saya Sakakibara going to be able to catch her down the final straight? She's getting closer. Claessens, Sakakibara. Claessens takes the win. The fairy tale ending not quite happening. Saya Sakakibara in 2. Veenstra in 3. Simpson in 4. And the European champion, she spoiled the party for our friends in Australia.
Class from Claessens, absolutely flying. Brilliant. She was so good all the way through. She was just flying, and look at that. Amazing from Saya Sakakibara to Zoe Claessens, and the congratulations, that sportsmanship, brilliant to see here. A fantastic final, another one with thrills and spills on the way through there, but great to see that Saya Sakakibara is human after all and can be beaten, and the Australians have been beaten on this track, which is going to set us up great for the next round.
Yes, Saya Sakakibara got a great start, but Zoe Clayson's made that inside line pay. Meanwhile, Manon Veenstra was picking up her second podium in 2 races, and there was all kinds of action going on behind as Meryl Smulders, Gabriella Bolle and Axel Etienne hit the deck coming out of turn number 1. Meanwhile, coming out of the final turn, Zoe Claessens, the European champion, taking her first World Cup win of the season. Saya Sakakibara with that second spot. Manon Veenstra, 3 rounds, 3 finals. She's on absolute top form in this Olympic year. I'm looking forward to seeing what she's got in round number 4.
It's going to be an exciting round. She's going to be looking to chase up. Remember that the very top of the standings are at stake potentially. Depends on what happens in round 4. Now, Saya Sakakibara came here with a perfect score. It means she should stay at the top with that second place. But Manon Veenstra, I think, is going to move up into second place in the series overall because of that round, and Claessens is going to be rocketing up the standings because she's made a big improvement. But Claessens today, she came in, she wasn't intimidated by all those Australian wins. She has nailed it today. She takes top spot for Switzerland. Let's see what she's got to say. She's down at interview now. Let's hear her thoughts on that great race win.
Zoe, what a race. Talk us through that lap here in Brisbane.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy to win again the World Cup. My last weekend was not good, and today I did good laps, and yeah, I'm so happy to win.
With such a technical track here, as well as a lot of pedaling, a lot of speed, which for you was the most satisfying part of being able to get through the track here today, smooth and clean?
Yeah, I think I did a good start, and my first jump was really good. And the rest of my lap, I didn't do mistakes, so yeah, I think it's make me win.
Okay, and we'd like to get a summary of your race as well in French.
Ma course, elle était super, j'ai fait un bon start, j'ai fait un bon premier saut, et le reste du tour, il était très très bien, donc ouais, j'ai gagné, je suis trop contente.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
So after not having made a final in rounds 1 and 2, Zoe Claessens not just makes the final, she absolutely nails it. Rich, she was so good all the way around this track. And Saya Sakakibara getting close. Veenstra showing she's probably one of the most consistent riders on the circuit as well.
Yeah, she definitely is, and the fact that we've come into an Olympic year and she's made 3 World Cup finals, she must be right up there in the thoughts of the Dutch Olympic selectors, and she's certainly making her presence felt in this World Cup season as Zoe Claessens took the win. But absolute delight for Zoe Claessens, and congratulations to the reigning European champion.
So don't forget that you can catch up with all of the images on social media. We'll tell you where to head in a moment. You can see the flower ceremony beginning with Manon Veenstra here from the Netherlands, taking away a 3rd place here today. It's a 2nd place for Saya Sakakibara from Australia on the riders right or left, but taking centre stage here today, it's Zoe Claessens of Switzerland. The European champion takes the World Cup win here today in round number 3 on a fantastic track here in Brisbane, Australia. You're 1, 2, 3. Zoe Claessens in 1, Saya Sakakibara in 2, and Manon Veenstra in 3. The elite women's racing is absolutely first class at the moment. I mean, it's so good, and it's so tight. I mean, we came in thinking Saya Sakakibara would be the rider to beat. She really was, but she couldn't necessarily nail it on the day.
No, unfortunately not, and that's not how BMX pans out. But we'll take a look at the standings as Oliver Moran leads out the men under 23 standings with his podium today. Benny Greenoff and Jack Greenoff rounding out the top 3. Joshua Jolly inside the 4, and Jesse Osmond rocketing up the standings to 5th, courtesy of his win here in round number 3.
Marco Radielli in 7th, despite coming across the line sideways, and Jordan Callum, who we saw come down, also in the top 8 in the men's under 23. In the women's under 23, Taya Rufus extending her lead there over Isabel May, but both jumping over the top of Ava Corley, not taking to the start. Stariska still in the hunt with Pascal, and her overcoming a not what was a great start for her, going through the last chance qualifiers to go through, and sitting in 6th position. Yabuta and Beltrano rounding out the top 8. Go into the men's. Well, Joris Dode still holds the lead, but, and it's a big but, Isaac Kennedy has flown up through the standings into 2nd place. Booty's dead. Got Mayu dropping down. Rain Carell's up. Cullen is up. Smith is up. Larson holding, just about holding his own at the moment. Big changes because of that race.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested to see what happens to Joris Dode, and I hope he's okay. As we look at the women elite standings, Sayas Kakibara still out front, 3 wins and a 2nd place. But Manon Veenstra, look at that, rocketing up to 2nd spot in the standings. Bethany Shriever just moving down into 3rd. Zoe Clayson's up to 4th. Willoughby in 5th. Schmulders in 6th. Stansel in 7th. And Molly Simpson rounding out the top 8.
And of course, we have seen Laura Smulders drop out of the top 4. So those are your positions overall. These are your fastest lap times on the way through here today, so they will be getting their place as the fastest laps. Rich, we've had great action here today. If people want to see the action, they want to catch up with what's happening, don't forget it's at UCI_cycling on social media, at BMX World Cup Australia on Facebook and Instagram. Where can people catch up with you on the internet?
Yeah, on Instagram it's at BMX Commentator.
So Rich Eames at BMX Commentator. It's me at Matt Fixer Payne on social media. Please do join us again for round number 4. Number 3 has been amazing. Number 4 looks like it's going to be absolutely stunning. It's in a stunning venue. It's some great racing. BMX never disappoints. And remember, your homework for tonight: go out, listen to a podcast, or follow a rider on social media and support the sport. That's what we want you to do if you've been inspired by today's racing. But from Rich Eames, from myself, Matt Payne, it's been great to be here. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.